So this is an example of how I'm going to show you guys how to do a 3D topo. Um, and so essentially, I do already know some of the major, I guess, information that I need. I know that the street at the top and the street at the bottom, the difference is 95 feet. I already know that, okay? So what I'm going to do is whenever I draw topos, I use a spline. So spline is SPL is a shortcut for spline, okay? So what I'm going to do is I am going to essentially, I am going to do a quick little trick. I'm going to press Layer ISO. So it's LAYISO, enter. Click this here, bam. It just isolated this here, okay? If I want to bring everything back and unisolate that, it's LAYUNISO, layer uniso, okay? Very important. Remember that. So layer ISO is LAYISO, enter. You click the layer, boom. Now you've just isolated that one layer. It makes it easier so that you don't have to like go through your layer manager and do this and that, blah, blah. You can also, Jim mentioned that sometimes you're more comfortable with like, I remember how the button looked, the little icon here on your palette. I'm an advocate of learning all the shortcuts, but if you want, you're also welcome to like, like here's layer, isolate, unisolate, etc. But I'm going to test you on the shortcuts, so you can find them here on the home palette. So essentially what I'm going to do is spline, SPL, it's also right here. And then I'm going to draw without my ortho on and without my my O snaps on. So I turned off my 2D O slap. O slap is F3, and then my 3D O snap is F4. That's new in AutoCAD 3D. So make sure you know the difference of the two. And the reason why I'm doing that is because splines are 3D, and they will snap to 3D objects. If it's like something's way up above, it'll snap to it.
What was that command just now?
Spline is SPL, enter. Oh, to turn on and off your 2D snap points is F3, and to turn on and off your 3D snap points is F4. So what I would do is I would then copy this over. And this is a sketch, okay? It's not super accurate, but I want to show you guys an example. So essentially what you would do is you would get a as-built drawing, a survey, and if it's just like a drawing, I would bring it into as a PDF into AutoCAD, and I would trace it over, right? And then I would draw these lines. And then typically your survey should say each line is difference by 5 feet or 2 feet or 3 feet. So then what do? So you would go into 3D space. So you hold down shift. And I know it's not a 3D AutoCAD class, but be aware that AutoCAD is 3D. Hold down shift. Now you're in 3D space, okay? And your shift, middle scroll button, and you're in 3D space. Yeah, of course. LA, enter. Bam. Voila. Right? If I wanted to extrude something, I press REC. That's my rectangle. Press EXT, enter. That's my space. I could press shade. Just type in the word shade. You can see that there. And then you could just copy this. CO, enter. Copy that. If I want to, say for instance, have a cool little step in there, I would press SU, enter. From the main space, I would click the main object, press enter, click this space. This is what I want to extrude from the main. It'll extrude. It'll subtract from there. Okay, right? Also, if I wanted to, say for instance, if I wanted to extrude along a path, right? I'd press 3P for 3D polyline, draw here, here, and here as a guideline. That was just a guideline, right? So I just drew in 3D space. Press C, enter for a circle, right? Press XT, EXT, enter. Click this, and it's asking me to extrude, and it's saying, do you want me to just extrude regular, or you want me to extrude along path? Press P, enter, bam, okay? So you just extrude along path. So that's all in the video, so I'm going to expect you guys to at least know the shortcuts and how to do it, okay? And essentially, if you wanted to do a wall, EXT, enter, right? Boom, there you go. That's your wall right there. And if you wanted to do some type of window off of that wall, you could press a line there, press EXT, and you could extrude just the line. So I'm going to press delete, right? Press EXT, do that line, and then what I'm going to do next? Right there, voila, there you go, okay? This is not a modeling class for in 3D, so I want you guys to be aware that AutoCAD is super duper strong. I could model anything in AutoCAD and challenge anybody in Rhino, and I could do it straight up, and everything. Because there's NURB modeling, there's everything modeling now. But anyways, so I'm glad that's on the video, just for your reference. So the next step of what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the level of these topos, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this here to a different layer so that it's gone. So I'm going to select that, press M for move, and I'm going to make sure that my ortho's on, okay? If my ortho's not on, it's not going to move it in the Z axis. So essentially, the Earth is all on the X and Y axis, and up is the Z axis, okay? So I'm going to press 5, enter, right? 5, enter, right? 5, enter, 5, enter. Oops. Make sure that your ortho's on. Okay, so this is kind of like just the basic part of it. So I'm going to press PLAN to go back to plan view, right? So that just makes it, so then I'm going to press LAY on ISO, right? So now everything's there. So that's essentially how my site looks. But theoretically, because I want you guys to do your topos much more detailed and much more like, make sure they're 95 feet difference, but make it cater to your presumed, what do you call it, your pad, your building pad, okay? So Jim has his presumed building pad. He's going to have his bar, and then he's also going to cantilever. So do an assumed building pad, and so essentially this is it here. So you could, if you want to change, so here is the entry, right? If I want this whole area to be flat, what I would do is I would start to go like this. I guess you don't have to do that because Revit does it for you. It's kind of cheating.
How do you do that 3D view?
Press Shift and middle scroll. So hold down Shift and hold down middle scroll, and then you move your cursor. Okay.
No, what's middle scroll?
The middle scroll button on your mouse. The middle button. Okay. Okay. So, I'm wondering, should I bring this into Revit and show you guys how to do the topos? Or should I hold off on that for the next class so that, because I need you guys to finish your space plans and print them out for the next class, and then review these videos and make sure you got all of those shortcuts. And then we'll go over the topos and the pad and jump right into Revit. I think that'll be fair enough because it's like 10 minutes. I don't think I'll be able to cover the topo in 10 minutes. I don't want to rush and hold us over because it's Sunday. Fair enough, or do you guys want me to stay over 15? It's up to you guys. Revit? You guys want me to bring it to Revit? Sure. Okay. So I am going to save this file here. I believe it's on my desktop, and I'm just going to name it site. Doesn't matter. And then the next video will be to how do you do a topo in Rhino.